All right, y'all, welcome to the show. Got a weird one for you today, and I'm really looking forward to it, if I'm being honest. So in just a second, I'm going to show you Nikki Haley's new attack ad against Donald Trump. She's really leaning into being aggressive against him because she's desperate and she's down big time in the polls, and she's trying to make something happen for South Carolina, because if she doesn't perform in South Carolina, it's 100% donezo for her. I mean, it's already like 98.5% donezo, but this will really seal the deal. So we'll talk about that. We also have The View gets very touchy and heated and defensive at the suggestion that perhaps Joe Biden should be replaced. We'll get to Morning Joe humiliating themselves and pressing the panic button and desperately trying to defend Biden from criticisms about his memory and his age and things of that nature. Later on, a really shocking story that you're going to want to hear about the impacts of chronic weed use. Now, let's be clear. I am massively in favor of legalization of marijuana. I've always had that position. I always will. I'll make the argument 1,000 different ways. But there's some interesting facts that I think people need to know when it comes to chronic weed consumption. And then, I got some chef's kiss gems for you later on, including Kanye West is asked about Palestinians. Wait until you hear his response. And we have Tucker Carlson calls Ben Shapiro despicable. Despicable. So the war between those two is heating up. All right, guys, you know the drill. Everybody do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. It helps out massively. And much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. I couldn't do it without you guys. Links below. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. So Nikki Haley released an ad against Donald Trump. The ad is called More Chaos. I want to take a listen, and then we will break it down.
The chaos that surrounds him is bad enough. But what is Trump saying he'll actually do in office? A 10% across-the-board tax increase. More record-breaking debt.
Huh? A 10% tax increase? I think I know what she's referring to. I'll get back to it.
Russian victory that will bring more war. With a world on fire and a crisis at home, with Trump, it's just more chaos. Nikki Haley, a better choice for a better America.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I approve this message.
Look, I'll give her that she's trying to go after him. I'll give her that she's trying to be more aggressive. But overall, this ad is a D-. It's weak. It's weak. Okay, I need you guys to understand something. The way in which you attack matters. In fact, it matters a lot. The specifics of your criticism matters. So I'll play it one more time, and let's break it down point by point.
The chaos that surrounds him is bad enough. But what is Trump saying he'll actually do in office? A 10% across-the-board tax increase.
I think what she's trying to refer to there is tariffs. He wants to do tariffs. If she was honest and she called it tariffs, it doesn't have as much of a visceral gut punch as he wants a 10% tax increase. I mean, it's just like, of all the things to attack him for, that he wants to be a little bit more protectionist vis-a-vis China and our trade policy. That's just like, that's not in the top 100 things to attack him for. She says record-breaking debt. I'm so sick of the debt and deficit fear-mongering. I'm so sick of it. Because the people who do that, their answer is always, let's cut Social Security and Medicare and make your grandma poverty-stricken. It's like, so he's going to do tariffs and the debt's going to go up. Oh, okay, more.
Record-breaking debt. A Russian victory that will bring more war.
A Russian victory that will bring more war. Okay, she could have said he won't give as much money to Ukraine, right? Like maybe that would be more honest. But a Russian victory and that would lead to more war. Nikki, who are we kidding? As terrible as Trump is, and he's terrible, you are the queen warmonger. You are. You're openly saying you are at war with Iran right now. For you to hit somebody else, more war. Are you kidding me? You're Nikki Haley. You supported the Iraq war, the Afghanistan war, the drone war. You want war with Iran. You backed Trump's coup of Venezuela, right? The list goes on. Okay, weak. This is all weak, weak, weak.
With a world on fire and a crisis at home, with Trump, it's just more chaos. Nikki.
That part is true. Trump brings chaos, but there's a way you can hammer home that point and a way that you tried and failed. Okay, so we'll come back to the more chaos thing in a second.
A better choice for a better America.
I'm Nikki Haley, and I approve this message.
All right, so that's it. Weak. Look, here's the problem with so-called moderate Republicans. She's not moderate at all. But that's how the media, she's the moderate answer to Trump. Here's the problem with them. The way they attack Trump is idiotic. With Trump, you have a candidate who has 91 criminal charges, 4 indictments. He did a whole fake elector scheme to try to steal the previous election. He said he wants to suspend the Constitution if he wins. Or excuse me, what he said was, to put me back in power, suspend or terminate the Constitution because all the rules are out the window because I won the election and they stole it from me. That's what he says. Of course, it's bullshit. He was trying to steal the election. That's a bigger deal. Policy-wise, he destroyed the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, an agency actually looking out for regular working people, returned billions of dollars to defrauded Americans. He killed the regulation and the court cases into the predatory payday loan industry because he took $1 million from them when he had his inauguration. He cut taxes for the rich. 83% of his tax cuts went to the top 1%. He increased drone strikes 432%. He assassinated a top Iranian commander, Soleimani, who was fighting ISIS. He tried to coup Venezuela. He ripped up the Iran agreement. He pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement. He says now he wants to ban anybody who's on the left from coming into the country. He wants to ban socialists and communists and have ideological screening and testing, do thought crimes to kick people out. The list goes on and on, guys. He wants to expand the Muslim ban. He wants war with Mexico and the drug cartels. He wants to designate them as terrorists. He outsourced 200,000 jobs. I mean, all of these things I'm laying out for you are things that are super ripe for criticism. They are, and what none of them she brings up. He wants to do tariffs and the debt's going to increase are the two criticisms Nobody cares, Nikki. Nobody cares. By the way, this is political malpractice from Nikki Haley to not lean into smarter issues. But it's also for Joe Biden. Like, I'm waiting for the all-out onslaught over 91 criminal charges, 4 indictments, wants to terminate the Constitution. On just those things, you can and should go on the offense relentlessly. But she doesn't have it in her. Why? Because she sucks on all of the policies and all of the things I listed that Trump did policy-wise. She agreed with it. Every last one of them. The only area where she disagrees are the things she brought up. She only disagrees with tariffs and a more protectionist trade policy. She only disagrees with increasing the national debt. These are the only things she cares about. That's not going to work. Now, to be fair to Nikki, at this point, nothing's going to work. Nothing's going to work at all, right? So to be fair to her, she's fighting a losing battle anyway, so in that sense, it doesn't matter what she says. But, if you're going to go down swinging, at least swing on things that make sense. At least swing on the fact that you're losing to somebody with 91 criminal charges who tried to steal the last election. Swing against a guy who said, I want to suspend the Constitution. She doesn't have it in her, man. She doesn't have it in her. I mean, these Republicans will never have what it takes to take down Trump, the juggernaut that he is, especially with these weak-ass attacks. Look at how Trump finds any little thing that he can exploit that's a genuine weakness, and he goes inski. People see that on Trump, his 91 criminal charges, and we don't want to piss off the people who like him. Well, you have to change the fact that they like him by making aggressive arguments to try to talk them out of it. And I admit that that's hard with the Trump cultists, but at the very least, you can work around the edges here and get people to snap out of it, which they're going to have to do. So, it's just so weak. I give her credit for trying to go after him, right? She's trying to be more aggressive, but the way in which she does it is so like 2003 George W. Bush coded, old school conservative republicanism that just has zero appeal anymore. Of all the things to go after Trump for, she picked, he wants to do tariffs on China. Like, what? What? These guys have the political instincts of a dead hamster.
Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.